Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. So if you still think that not eating any food is the way you lose weight, we need to talk. Hang tight on this live video real quick. I want to make sure you guys understand that it's not actually true. I'm going to change my privacy settings because apparently this automatically sets them to friend, which I do not want. All right. And then we can get started. Hello, friends. Say hello as you're hopping on so that I can say hi to you. I know it's Labor Day, so a lot of you guys are home. For me, it doesn't matter so much, but my little one is currently with his grandparents, so I have time to film this video for you guys. So this video came on the heels of a conversation I was having with one of my brand new members in the Warrior Wellness Studio. She is starting her nutrition journey and she's starting her MBF journey, which is the same fitness program I'm doing. And she wrote me a message and she was like, so I have sort of been living under this assumption that if you just don't eat food, like a lot of it, you will lose weight. And I'm beginning to think like that's not actually true. Can you help me with understanding that? And I was like, super happy to, because that is BS. Hey, John. So here's the thing about the traditional weight loss narrative or conversation. Being in a calorie deficit does help. And what I mean by a calorie deficit is that you are consuming less than you are using. So if you're someone that has an extremely sedentary life, you don't move a lot, you don't have a lot of activity, you need to be consuming significantly less calories using this calorie deficit mentality or theory than someone who's extremely active and works out a lot and also has a physical job, let's say. You cannot consume the same amounts of calories as that person because you will not have the same result. Okay, so for some people, X amount of calories will just help them maintain their weight because they're pretty much consuming what they're using. For some people, X amount of calories will have them gain because they are consuming more than they're using. For some people, X amount of calories is going to have them lose because they are using more than they're consuming. So on a very basic level, the calorie deficit theory is sound. However, my clients, and I know many of you guys, maybe you don't just want to lose weight, but you want to get fit. You actually want to get some muscles. You actually want to see definition. So I shared my results photos yesterday, and that was huge because those were crazy results. And they were so good and so significant because those results came on the heels of nutrition. I didn't just get those results because I'm using an awesome fitness program, which I am. It's amazing and it makes me feel really strong and I have amazing definition all over. But I got those results because of how I'm eating. And that is something I really want you guys to understand. When you want to build strength, muscles, get definition, get nice curves if you're a woman, when you're looking for that, you need to eat food. Lots of food. Way more food than you're probably consuming right now. The difference is that volume eating nutritious food that has really usable calories is not the same as volume eating what I call fun food that doesn't actually do anything for your body. Okay, so fun foods are desserts, treats, anything that has like sugar, lattes you get from Starbucks that are full of syrups in them, treats, muffins, donuts, baked goods, lots of bread, like things that you don't really need to function that you just like to eat because they taste good, okay? Those foods are really high in calories and high in sugar on top of that. Now, not only do they have a caloric number that's high, chips are another good example of fun food, but they have a high sugar content. Even chips have a high sugar content, right? And sugar does convert to fat really fast and weight gain. So when you're thinking about what you're eating, it's less about I need to eat less food and more about I need to eat highly usable food. That's the mentality that you have to have. What can I consume in a large volume that's highly usable by my body? Because the more of that you eat, the more definition you're going to get. These guns right here were built on food. They were not built on not eating food, okay? My waistline was not built on not eating food. Okay, it was built on eating food, but highly usable food. Okay. So for most people, what does that look like? It looks like much less carbohydrates in the form of simple starches like breads, pastas, rice, anything that has flour in it, okay, even gluten-free stuff, all of that, lot less than that. There's a specific proportion for your body. Everybody has a different need and amount depending on what your goal is. So part of the nutrition course that I use, that I'm currently in the middle of getting certified for, and that I believe everybody can progress from, is figuring out what that formula is for you, plugging you into that formula and giving you something that's really simple to follow, where you don't have to count grams, count calories, count macros, not do any of that. It's just a color-coded system. It's super, super simple. Put it in the colors, eat it, done, okay? So when you figure out what that proportion is, you need to be eating this much greens in your day, this many servings of protein, this many servings of healthy fat, this many servings of seeds, nut butters, oils, this many servings of carbs, simple carbs and starches, grains and starches fall into that category. When you start to figure out that like proportion and you start to eat that way for long term, it becomes actually really organic, and you start to see the difference in how you feel. Like my brain might want more starch, more grain than what I'm eating on my plan, but I immediately can tell the difference when I eat more than what I'm assigned to. My body slows down. I can feel the metabolism gets slower, my appetite shuts off. I now will miss a meal, and that's happened before, where I'll eat like way more than I really scheduled to for lunch, let's say, and I'll have to miss dinner because my body is just not open for food, right? So that is containers, that is portions of food that I'm now not going to get because my body's just not available to process it. It's way too full, right? So when you start to follow the system, it gets really organic, and you start to figure out intuitive eating. And this is kind of goes along with something I talked about a couple months ago, which is like intuitive eating doesn't work until you clean up your diet and you really can tell what your body feels like when it's at optimal versus crap. Because a lot of people are using intuitive eating as a reason, I have a glare, it's bothering me, as a reason to eat like trash. And I'm just going to call that out because that was me. You're calling it intuitive eating, and what you're doing is eating way more pizza, way more donuts, way more things that are not actually usable food. I guarantee no one's intuitively eating a lot of broccoli. That's not happening. You're eating the foods that you like in your brain, right? That's normal. But when you clean up your meals and you start to realize how your body feels when you're eating in this really healthy proportion to your goal, you start to figure it out. Oh, okay, so my body's eating this more, feels like this. When it eats that, it feels like that. And then you can start making more intuitive decisions. Naturally, you will make more intuitive decisions when it comes to food. Okay. But eating less food is not going to give you the results I got. No. You have to eat food, highly usable food for your body in proportion to your goal. Because some of my clients want to gain weight. Some of my clients come to me and they're like, I don't want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. I want to get muscles. Actually, Michelle was one of those people. She did not need to lose weight. She's here to get gains, right? So her eating plan is going to be real different than someone like me who was looking to lose the weight. At this point, I'm not looking to lose weight. I'm looking to shed fat and get lower body fat percentage and more muscles. That's really what I'm going for, right? So now my goal is shifting and I'm having to shift. But that's the brilliant part about this formula, is that it works for everybody. And it works no matter what your goal is. If your goal is to maintain, if your goal is to lose, if your goal is to gain, if your goal is to get buff, if your goal is to, it works for everybody in every season of life. There is even a formula for pregnant women. So if you're pregnant or expecting or want to get pregnant and want to expect, I can teach you how to eat on this very same nutrition plan for your pregnancy to make sure you get the right amount of calories, the right amount of nutrients, you feel energized, you don't feel bloated, okay? And of course, that has to be adjusted because you're going to have cravings, you're going to have aversions, and that's all part of pregnancy and it's completely normal. But at the very least, you will have an outline of how you can eat to maintain very healthy weight gain, because you're supposed to gain weight when you're pregnant. But there's also a healthy way to gain weight when you're pregnant, and then there's a not healthy way to gain weight when you're pregnant, right? So with an outline, at the very least, you can have an idea of, okay, here's what it looks like. There's also a formula for if you're vegan and you want to use I used the vegan meal plan. I didn't eat strictly vegan, but I used the vegan meal plan to give me more greens, to up my greens content. Okay. Or if you're not vegan, that's the standard formula. Standard formula is for non-vegan. So anybody can use this. It's so accessible. But I just really want you guys to understand that not all calories are the same calories. 100 calories from a Snickers bar is not the same 100 calories from eating like a quinoa, broccoli, chicken bowl. Okay. That's not an equivalent exchange, because that quinoa bowl is highly usable by the body and it will be used to build more definition, whereas the Snickers bar is not usable. It's the same calories. So if you're just counting calories, it would not make or break your calorie count if it fits into your calories, but it's not going to contribute to you having a really nice defined body. And that's the main difference I want you guys to understand. Calories aren't equal. They do different things. So if you're just trying to stay under a certain caloric bracket, cool, but it's not actually going to build upon your body, which if that's what you want, you need to eat differently. Okay. If you have no appetite, this is something that I run into a lot with my brand new clients. They're like, girl, I can't eat all these containers. I have no appetite. I'm not hungry, especially in the morning. I want you to know, if you don't have an appetite, your metabolism is dead. You have no metabolism. That's one of the primary ways my clients who need to lose the most weight are eating the least. It's not because they're overeating. My clients that need to lose the most weight, we're talking 50, 70, 100 pounds, they're not eating more than my other clients. People think that. People think if you're super obese, you're probably eating way more than the girl who's not. But that's not true. That's not true. Someone's metabolism is just stalled, real slow, and you're probably way under eating. And because you're way under eating for your body's not using the fuel. You're not getting any energy. You're in starvation mode. Actually, you're probably extremely malnourished. And that goes against what we think, right? It doesn't make sense to our brain. We think, oh my God, if someone's registering in at obese, then they're just eating way too much food. They need to stop eating. No, that's probably not true. That could be true for some people, but a lot of my clients, that's actually not true at all. They're eating so little that their body's in starvation mode, and so it's holding on to everything, and it blows them up. That's what happens. So don't fall into the myth that eating less automatically means losing weight. It's not true. And don't fall into the myth that if someone is really big, it's because they eat so much, they need to just stop eating. That's not true. And don't fall into the myth that, going for long fasting periods is going to automatically make you lose weight. That's not true. I've seen people go long fasting periods and stall out at their weight because they thought this extended fasting, because, intermittent fasting is like the hottest thing now, they think that's going to give them the results, and it doesn't, because their metabolism's dead. If you don't have an appetite, your metabolism is dead. You need help. You need food, real food to start. I also don't drink supplements all day long. I don't believe in drinking a fat burning tea and a this for that and a that for that, and you don't even learn how to eat food. No, I drink one supplement a day in the form of a smoothie. It's a micronutrient supplement, replaces all of my vitamins, replaces taking extra minerals. It gives me a bunch of herbs I can't eat. It's worth 8 superfoods worth of food. I can't eat that many salads in a day. There's no way. So I use it to meet my micronutrient needs, and then I eat to meet my macronutrient needs. Okay? That's what I do. That's what I teach all my clients to do. We don't just drink stuff all day long to suppress our appetite or to, burn fat or to no. And I don't subscribe to that. And I don't believe in that. I think you need to learn how to eat food, real food, lots of it, so that your body stays active and healthy. Okay? So wanted to bust that myth up real quick. And yes, I still do have my nutrition group is open. I had someone message me and ask me, hey, can I join? I know you started at the beginning of September. Is it still open? It is. This is not like my other groups that have a hard start and stop. This one's open until mid-October. Anybody is welcome to come in. And as you come in, you'll be put in the group and you can automatically start going through your nutrition program and looking at your recipes and doing your meal mapping, which is a video that I share with all my clients on how I plan, which I have to do today. I plan all of my meals using a simple little notebook. It's not really complicated. It's color-coded, it's easy. I know exactly what I'm eating every single day of the week. And soon I'll be traveling. I'm going to be traveling to visit my family in South Florida, and I will be showing you guys how I continue to track even when I'm traveling. It gets harder. You're probably not going to eat all of your macros. You're probably not going to meet them all, but I am going to be working out even while I'm traveling because my workouts are only 30 to 40 minutes and they're all virtual. I can take my tablet and work out anywhere I go. And I'll show you how I still portion out my foods. The primary thing you need to keep your eye out is on healthy fats, meaning like cheeses and avocado and nuts and seeds, because those build quickly. You eat a lot of them and you don't realize it, and starches and grains. If you can keep those at a minimum and just maintain your greens, your fruits, your proteins at a really good place, you will maintain, you will not gain, you will still have energy, and you won't feel like crap when you're traveling. So I'll be showing you guys how I do that and how I plan for that, okay? And how I pack. Like I'll show you guys how I actually pack to travel so I can make sure I meet all of my needs, okay? So hopefully this was insightful and it broke you up with some story that you have about weight loss and food. And if you want to join our community, please let me know. Drop a line in the comments or drop me a message, and I'm happy to either send you a video with more information, talk to you about your specific needs, or just go ahead and add you in so that you can join us and learn how I've gotten these really spectacular results eating in a really simple way that does all the work for me. All right. Have an awesome Labor Day, you guys. Bye.